He wasn't like, you could argue he was barely, no, bro. He was past the line. All right. So you can't even get mad at that. Us and other teams, bro, there's been times where we get a bunch of pass interference, and sometimes, yes, I give it to him. I'm like, yo, yeah, that was pass interference. But other times, in crucial moments, they throw these pass interference, face masks, all these ridiculous flags, calls that is not even there, and the announcers back up what we feel. They'll say, yo, there's not enough there to throw that flag. But guess what? We have to eat it up and move on to the next either play, or if it's game over, next game. That's what it is. That's what it comes down to. And the What is going on, Ravens flock? My name is Drastic, and I want to welcome you guys back to another video on our YouTube channel, Flock and Ravens. And on today's video, we are going to be talking about the media turning on Patrick Mahomes. Now, before we get into this topic, I just want to fill some of you guys in on where I've been for the past 2 weeks or so, because a lot of y'all have been asking me, yo, what's up with these videos? Why you're not posting anymore? And the truth is, I've been sick for the past 10 days or so. Yo, the flu caught me slipping. I'm talking about I'm feeling cold, but when you feel my skin, I'm burning hot. I'm shivering because I feel cold, but yo, I am hot to the touch. It was horrible. It was horrible. The only thing left to do was for me to sweat it out. I was sick for the past 10 days, and I was even like, should I go to the hospital, or should I just, fight this out? What should I do? I ended up just, staying home, doing the home remedies, the teas and all of that, right? Anyways, we're not 100% better, but we are getting there. All right. And that's all that matters. So I'm sorry I have not been posting. I've been wanting to because, yo, there has been so many things to talk about. But we're back. We're back, and we're going to try to keep these videos coming. All right. So let's get back to this video. And the topic is the media is turning on Patrick Mahomes. Now, this is very interesting because normally the media is constantly making excuses for Patrick Mahomes. Y'all know this. Y'all are not new to this. Y'all already know this for a fact. The media is constantly putting blame on everybody but Patrick Mahomes. The media will literally put blame on the mascot before they blame Patrick Mahomes. It's a fact. It's a fact. Now, as many of us were watching the Chiefs versus the Bills game, it honestly reminded me of the old Ravens. I'm talking about the 2020 Ravens. I'm talking about the 2021 Ravens, the 2022 Ravens. Because there's only so much Patrick Mahomes can do. There's only so much. As perfect of a throw that you make, your receiver has to catch the ball, right? As perfect as everybody runs their routes, everybody has to do the very minimal of at least lining up correctly, snapping the ball on time. These ridiculous penalties that sometimes come at the most crucial moments of the game, the Ravens would always go through that time and time again. But the difference is that with us, the media always put the blame on Lamar Jackson. Whenever we lost a game, well, many games, due to penalties, due to our receivers dropping balls, our receivers not able to get open, our offense coordinators not able to scheme up our receivers open, every time the blame would fall on Lamar Jackson. They would always say, yo, Lamar Jackson needs to do better. Lamar Jackson is responsible for getting these receivers open, catching the ball, all that, right? But this year, we started seeing Patrick Mahomes going through the same struggle that these Ravens have been going through for the past 3, 4, 5 years. And the whole media is constantly putting excuses for Patrick Mahomes, talking about Kadarius Toney needs to do better. They don't have a number one wide receiver. The offense coordinator, this, that, and the third. Which I agree. I agree. I am not here to say, yo, Patrick Mahomes needs to do it all. I'm not here to say that. All right. But what I am gonna tell you guys is this same argument was not given for Lamar Jackson, and that's where I think it's unfair. It's unfair because why can we make these excuses? And they're valid. They're completely valid because Patrick Mahomes, he does need more weapons. He needs more help. He needs his receivers to do the bare minimum, which is pretty much run your route. If the ball is placed perfectly, like in the breadbasket, as they say, catch the ball, right? And we're easy to put the blame on, well, not we, the media quickly puts the blame on the receivers, on the coaching staff, on everybody but Patrick Mahomes. And that's where I have an issue. But after yesterday's game, or 2 days ago, the media is actually turning against Patrick Mahomes because a lot of the media does not agree with the fact that Patrick Mahomes was upset at the fact that the refs did their job. How many times has have we lost a game? And when I say we, I'm talking about the Ravens, right? How many times have we lost a game because the refs missed a call or the refs threw a BS flag? How many? Countless times. We've lost so many times very important games because the refs decided to throw a penalty on a holding call where it's barely valid, right? You look at the play and you're like, and even the announcers, they'll say, yo, it's not enough for me to throw the flag, right? But they go ahead and throw it and move on from it like it's nothing, right? And this has been something that happens not just to the Ravens. This happens to every single team. But for some reason, Patrick Mahomes and that coaching staff believe that the same rules that every other team has to follow does not apply to them. They honestly feel like they have a whole nother set of rules specifically for them. Like they don't have to follow. Bro, that's not how that works. I get why you guys are frustrated. Under 2 minutes, all of that, right? But it happens all the time to every other team. It happens to the Ravens all the time. I see it happen to other teams all the time, right? And the worst part about all of this is your guy clearly deserved that flag. He deserved it. He wasn't like, you could argue he was barely. No, bro. He was past the line. All right. So you can't even get mad at that. Us and other teams, bro, there's been times where we get a bunch of pass interference. And sometimes, yes, I give it to him. I'm like, yo, yeah, that was pass interference. But other times in crucial moments, they throw these pass interference, face masks, all these ridiculous flags, calls that is not even there. And the announcers back up what we feel. They'll say, yo, there's not enough there to throw that flag. But guess what? We have to eat it up and move on to the next either play or if it's game over, next game. That's what it is. That's what it comes down to. And the next day, we have to deal with the media and everybody pointing the finger at Lamar Jackson as if he's the one that got the pass interference. He's the one that did the face mask. But for once, we're finally seeing the entire media, minus Nick Wright, because you already know how Nick Wright is with Patrick Mahomes. The entire media is acknowledging that Patrick Mahomes is in the wrong. And what's crazy about this is, even though he's clearly in the wrong by doing what he did, the coach backed him up. The coach backed him up knowing that he was in the wrong. And I think they would have kept this attitude going had the whole entire media not responded the way they did. Because the entire media said, nah, he's in the wrong, Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, they do another presser like the next day or whatever, talking about, that wasn't right. Patrick Mahomes said that wasn't right. He apologizes because that's not something he wants kids to see, and this, that, and the third. Andy Reid, the same thing. He gave a whole speech, whatever, right? But I feel that had the media backed up Patrick Mahomes, he would have been on that same exact vibe. He would have kept it going. He would have been like, nope, that's messed up. It's me, Patrick Mahomes. Why would you guys do this in my stadium, on my game, my show, whatever, right? He would have kept it going. But the fact that the media said, no, you're wrong, love you, but we don't agree with you, he switched up like this. He switched up like that, right? So that's a first. That's a first, and I hope from this point going forward, which I don't expect it to, but I do hope that the media is gonna be a little bit more fair when it comes to Patrick Mahomes, right? Um, Again, I understand what Patrick Mahomes is going through and the Chiefs fans because we went through that, and I hope if we go through this same thing again after this year, because yeah, we don't even know if we're gonna have OBJ again and all these weapons, right? We don't know. So we might go back to the same situation we were like 2, 3 years ago, right? We don't know. But I hope that the media and the fans could be a little bit more understanding. Like, bro, Lamar Jackson cannot do everything. Yes, he can be Superman, but there's only so much he can do, right? And another thing I want to talk about is even though right now we're at the top of the AFC, nobody is really giving us our credit. Nobody. The entire media, yeah, they're saying, the Ravens are a good team, but they're putting us side by side to other teams. No one's acknowledging, like, yo, we're at the top, right? Even though the Dolphins lost the game, there are some media personnel out there saying that the Dolphins are a scarier team than the Ravens. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and act like the Ravens had this amazing game because, yo, like I told y'all with that Steelers game that we lost, right? Had we won that game, I would still sit up here and say that was a terrible game. And that's how I feel about this game that we just played. Now, I know a lot of y'all are going to say, yo, why you keep complaining? Why you keep complaining? The reason is because my expectations for these Ravens are up high. But I know that these Ravens can do it. I know that these Ravens can get up there because I've seen them. We've seen these Ravens play lights out in both sides of the field, offense and defense. We've seen it. So that's why I hold them to such a high standard, bro, because I know they can do it, right? So it's never like, oh, I'm ungrateful. Yo, I'll take the win every day, but I'm always going to hold my players accountable. I'm always going to expect the best of the best from each and every one of them because I know they can do it. All right. So don't ever take my my criticism of like, oh, you just always I heard somebody say to some other fans that they're negative Nancy, something like that. And I don't think it's about that. I don't think that certain fans are necessarily being negative just because we can't enjoy the win. Well, we enjoy it. Trust me, we enjoy it. But after we enjoy it, we can't pretend like we didn't have mistakes. We have to acknowledge these mistakes. We have to improve it. Otherwise, if we just think we did all great and everything was like a great game, trust me, we're going to make these mistakes again against the 49ers, against the Dolphins, the Jaguars. These are like better teams than the Rams. And then that's when you guys, once we lose because we made the same mistakes, that's when y'all going to be like, yo, what's wrong with these Ravens? Like, we could have avoided it. We could have fixed it. Had we tried to improve and actually acknowledge, yo, we did this wrong, we did that wrong. That's why I am hard on this team. But I enjoy the win. I'm sure every person that says, yo, this was a horrible game, enjoys the game, the win, but we're actually looking through the whole entire film, not just the ending of it, right? The ending was amazing, but watch the whole game. You got to criticize the entire game, not just the ending, the score, not just that, all right? That's all it is. That's all it is, all right? And I think franchises and teams that look at it like, it's a win is a win. We're not gonna be. They don't win anything. They're a sorry team, and there are some teams like I know some Steelers fans who have like horrible games, but they're like, no, we played great. And if that's how the locker room is, where just because they won, they're like, that was a great game. That's why they're where they are today. Same with the Bengals. When they have a horrible game and they get bailed out by the refs or whatever, they act like it was a great game, but they don't watch the entire game. If you watch the entire game, yo, that was horrible. Y'all got lucky. And if you guys have that attitude of, well, it's a win, we'll take it and whatever, and it was such a great, that's why you guys are at the bottom of the AFC North. There are many teams like that. And the Ravens, I hope that they're not like that. And, if we can keep improving, yo, we're only going to get better. We're only going to get better. But we have to have 50-50. We have to obviously be positive too. We can't always be negative, right? We have to put a slight negativity in everything, because everybody on that team will tell you there is always room for improvement. Anyways, I'm gonna see you on the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment down below what you guys think about the whole Patrick Mahomes situation. Did he overreact? Do you think he's at fault? Do you agree with him? Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. All right, and with that, I'm gonna see y'all on the next video. Also, make sure to share this channel, this video, with a family or friend, or just anybody that you know is a Ravens fan. Send them to this channel. Let's try to get to 1,000 before the end of the year. All right. Anyways, I'm going to see you on the next video.